everybody, and welcome to another Warzone Central Coast review video with our Genestealer Cult. This is part 2 of said review. We have already gone through the unit types and broken down their unit information, all the goodies that are in the Codex.
Heavily coloured by my bias and love.
Yep. Well, you've got a lot of bias and love for them, but no, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, we've pretty much gone through it all. This part, we're going to go through formations.
Yep.
And pretty much go through, all the special rules, what you get, what there are, what they need to take, and essentially, I guess, uses for them. And then there will be another video where we're going to go through everything else.
Yep.
So we're going to kick things off with
Subterranean Uprising. Now, to take this formation, you have to have between 0 and 1 Primus, so the captain, if you will, of the Genestealers, 1 to 3 units of hybrid metamorphs, 2 to 4 units of acolyte hybrids, and 0 to 3 units of aberrants. Now, everything has infiltrate if it didn't already, which I believe it all did, but it's there. All the units must start an infiltrate.
Yep.
And when they infiltrate, they all have to use the Cult Ambush special rule.
Okay, so that's a requirement.
It's a requirement. You can't deploy them normally. They always go out afterwards. And to be honest, you're probably doing it with those units anyway. They're all assault units. You want to see where your opponent goes.
Yep.
Now, what happens is when you roll on the Cult Ambush table, you roll 2 dice instead of 1. So these are all assault geared units. You want to roll that 6 to be able to punch someone. You get 2 chances at it.
Yeah.
Which means that once per game, these guys should get in.
Yep.
Now, they also have another rule called Meticulous Planner. The Primus was 0 to 1. However, if you do take him and he joins a unit, you can roll 3 dice for Cold Ambush for that unit.
Ooh.
And that's really good.
Yeah. It's not like it's a re-roll. You just roll 3 and then you get to select the one that you want.
Yeah.
So if you don't want them to do something,
I'm going to outflank into this little corner here because
there's an objective there, or there's a unit that's trying to get away,
or I'm going to put it into ambush again next turn and bring it back on and roll again and try my luck. One more time. Again, if you're building an assault-based list, you're probably going to have all these units anyway. So this is, again, just an extra bonus for focusing your list towards a certain thing.
Nice.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
Second up is Deliverance Blood Surge.
Brood Surge.
Alright, it's not Blood Angels or Chaos.
Let's try that again.
Deliverance Blood Surge. Now, for this, you have to take 2 to 6 units of Neophyte hybrids, and they all must have a Goliath as a transport. So, again, if you're building that kind of list, you're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Now, their special rules are reckless fanaticism, which means if
they can jump off when you're at cruising speed.
That's cool. That's good. They all have to take dangerous terrain, but who cares?
I'm waiting for the day that happens in a game. They run it up 12 inches. They jump off. 3 of them die because they've got next to no armor safe. They take a morale check, fail, and run away.
I'd be fine with that.
That'd be very
fun.
That'd be very thematic. You'll just be like, oh no, we're not doing this anymore. Run away. But obviously, if you've got the patriarch around, they're just going to be.
That's cool. But again, guard suffers from an inherent immobility.
Yep.
This is not the case with these guys. They also have another rule called Perfect Crew. Each time a vehicle from this formation suffers a crew stunned or shaken, they ignore it and they just take a hull point.
Nice.
So they just keep going. And again, you're probably going to take these units anyway. Even if they have to start embarked on the transports, they can easily hop out again first turn. If you're just running them around as autocannon fire bases, the ability to keep shooting every turn is there. And that's pretty cool. And again, it's not a huge amount. Even if you're taking two units of each, off you go.
Yeah. I did just take 2 and 2 and call it even. It's not a super expensive force. You can make that sub 200 points, or just on 200 points.
Just on 200 points without any upgrades.
Without any upgrades, and that's super cheap for 2 units in transports. And it's making a transport unit that's already quite robust even more robust.
It's good. From its normal rules, Nor's immobilized in a 4+.
Yep.
It's cool. It's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So what do we got next?
Next up is Demolition Claw. 2 to 3 units of Acolyte Hybrids, 2 to 3 units of Goliath Rock Grinders, and at least 1 model from each Acolyte Hybrid must be equipped with a Demolition Charge, and all Goliath Rock Grinders must be equipped with Acacia Demolition Charge, although this upgrade costs no points.
It's all free.
So the Demolition
20 points normally?
20 or 25 points.
I think they're 20.
I think
because it makes it 95 points in the shot. So then, so you're getting 40 points if you take 2.
At least.
Yeah.
The special rules again, tank hunters. That's super awesome.
Yeah.
They have las cannons on the rock grinders.
Yeah.
They want to ram things and do damage. It's perfect.
Yep.
The demolition charges, strength 8, AP2, wants to hurt tanks as well as everything else, but wants to hurt tanks as well. So it all flows into each other. This is probably a combination you're probably going to do if you're going to take rock grinders anyway.
Yeah.
And this just gives you extra bonuses on top.
Yeah.
Demolition Specialist is another special rule they gain. Acolyte Hybrids from a Demolition Claw can reroll the scatter dice when using a demo charge or Acacia Demolition Charges when embarked on a rock grinder from this formation. Blowing yourself up! 6-inch range, no longer as scary.
I was going to say, because it's a 5-inch template, if you stuff it up, it's coming right back on top of you, and that's not a good thing.
Not going to now. Demolition Claw, saves that.
A lot more consistent in getting those hits on the right thing.
They also carry extra explosives. Roll a dice each time a model throws a demolition charge, which is within 6 inches of a Goliath Rock Grinder from the same formation. On a 4 or more, it replenishes the explosives and can be used as demolition charge again. So demolition charges generally are one use. Yeah. This is potentially 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, if you get lucky though, obviously.
If you get lucky and get 3, the game's over. You're going to have an awesome time.
Yeah.
And the third one will probably kill you.
Yeah.
But again, little bonuses for doing what you already were doing with the army list. This is my kind of formations. It's nothing game breaking, but it charges the theme. So it's good. Next up is Brood Cycle.
I think this is the core one, like the main.
I was actually disappointed when I read it because it doesn't actually have Genestealers on motorbikes, because that would have been awesome. Alright, with it you have an Acolyte Icon Wall, the standard bearer.
Yep.
3 units of Acolyte Hybrids, 2 units of Neophyte Hybrids, 1 unit of Metamorph, 1 unit of Pure Strain Genestealers, 0 to 1 Aberrants, and 0 to 1 Rock Grinders.
Lucky the Aberrants are 0 to 1, because if that was a tax, I would be like, Everything else is fine, but if that was a tax, I would be honestly considering it no.
Yeah.
But they're not, so it's all good.
Yeah. Special rules is Familial Pride. Any non-vehicle unit in this formation that is within 6 inches of at least another unit from this formation adds to 1 to leadership and weapon skill. Weapon skill being probably the more important one because it pushes them from 4s to 5s.
Yeah.
Meaning you're hitting most of everything on
3s.
Which again, an aggressively focused force, it's really good. And even your guardsmen go to weapon skill 4, they take less hits in close combat.
Yep.
Which means that they'll stick around longer. They won't seem as squishy as their 5+ toughness 3 will actually look like. The other special rule they have is Hold the Banner High. All units in this formation have the Furious Charge special rule as long as within 24 inches of the Acolyte Icon Ward.
Yep.
In addition, the range of the Icon Ward's Nexus of Devotion special rule, which is the one that gives something, is into 24 inches. And I'm actually
it's the Feel No Pain.
Yeah, 24-inch Feel No Pain bubble.
So it becomes 24-inch Feel No Pain bubble.
Both sides, so 48, 49 with his base.
Yeah. It's huge.
Yeah.
It covers pretty much everything.
Yeah. That's pretty nice. Again, you know, if you're wanting to take a spread of the Genestealer Cult units, this one goes, thank you. Your units are less squishy than what they were, and they'll also fight a lot better. So, you know, be aggressive with them, enjoy them. So, it's really good. You know?
Yeah, it's not too bad. And, I mean, even though it's a big formation, there's a lot in there. At the end of the day, everything's dirt cheap. You're going to be taking these kinds of units, so you're going to be using the Brood Cycle.
That's right. It's not like you've got these 200-300 point Death Star units running around.
Yeah.
These guys here, the 50, 90 points, if you tool them up a little bit, you're going to have those units. So you're going to have these bonuses.
Yeah. It's
probably good.
Probably going to be 700 or 800 points most of the time for, you know, to kit it out well.
For this one. For the other ones, even less.
Yeah, a lot less.
Yeah. Next up is the First Curse. So with this one, you have to have one Patriarch and one 20-man Pure Strain Genestealer unit.
Just cause.
Yeah. At the start of the game, you roll for their strange mutations.
Yep.
Bringing back your gulls. Love it. And you apply the result to the First Curse's unit of Genestealers. So the Patriarch doesn't actually get the bonus. On a d6 roll of a 1, you get Flesh Hooks, which you don't have initiative penalty for terrain.
Yep.
2, they go to a 4+ save. Awesome. 4+ save, 5+ invul.
Yep.
You know, we'll have Terminators out of them yet.
That's not too bad.
On a 3, Toxin Glands, they all have poisoned. Which is nice, you know, that weight of wounds soon adds up. 4, Adrenal Sacs, they have Rage, so you're looking at 5 attacks on the charge. 5, Feeder Tendrils, they have the Preferred Enemy special roll, which is pretty nice. And 6, choose what you want. It's up to you. So,
which is good because you can then just go, well, I'm versing this kind of army. This is going to be...
I'm playing against Tau. You know what? It doesn't matter. I'm going to murder them in close combat. I need to get there. So I'm going to take Hardened Carapaces.
Yeah.
You know, I'm playing against something else that can actually fight. You know what? I'm going to take Preferred Enemy. And I'm going to, you know, grind them out.
Yeah.
So good.
Or if you know you're going to get that charge on, the Rage is probably one of the better ones there. Because 5 each in a unit of 20... that is an absolute monstrous amount of attacks.
Time to crack out your orc buckets of dice. Just pour them on the table. Next up is Neophyte Cavalcade. For this one, you need 2 units of Neophyte Hybrids, 1 Lehman Rush Squadron, and 1 to 2 of the following units in any combination of Scout or Armored Sentinels. The Neophyte Hybrids must take a Chimera as a dedicated transport. So, that's in there. Now, this one here, the Neophyte Hybrids start their embarked on the vehicles, are the rules, and everything has mechanized ambush. Vehicle units in this formation have the outflank special rule. Scout Sentinels gain the Cult Ambush special rule. So, you can have autocannon, las cannon Sentinels holding up a flank, popping off shots. As soon as someone looks at them, pick them up off the table, next turn redeploy them to the other side of the table, take those shots again. That is so good. If they don't have a good shooting force, these units will never die. It is so good. They also gain another special rule called Devoted Crew. Roll a dice each time the vehicle from this formation suffers a crew stun or shaken result. On a 4 or more, this result is ignored. So, similar to the Goliath rules, except for everything that doesn't have the Goliath rules
now has it.
Is a vehicle in this formation. I actually really like that. It plays guard better than guard with these particular units.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
100%.
Yep, all good. Got 2 left. The second to last is the Dotting Throng. For this one, you have to have...
The doting what?
Leave
doting thong?
Yes. I have one of those right now. The formation is 0 to 1 Magus, and 3 to 6 of the following units in any combination. Neophyte Hybrids or Alkali Hybrids. Now, the special rules for it are Frenzied Devotion. Units from this formation have the Zealot special rule when they're in 12 inches of a friendly Magus. Furthermore, a unit that is actually joined by the Magus can reroll failed to hit rolls in every round of close combat. It's nice. I mean, obviously better for acolytes.
Yeah.
But the neophytes with their, get in front of the magus special rule, that'll be really good.
It really helps, yeah.
Willing subjects is the other special rule it gains. The magus targets a neophyte or acolyte hybrid unit from this formation with a blessing psychic power. They can re-roll the psychic test. Makes it a little bit reliable. But again, if you are playing these particular units, this is another bonus you're getting just because.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly right. I mean, at the end of the day, all of these formations are like that. You're going to be taking them regardless. So why not put them into the formations to get the extra benefits?
That's right. The benefits for most aren't game breaking, but they're nice.
But they're strong.
They're nice.
They're improving upon something that's already really good and making them strong.
Just that little icing
on the cake.
Little
extra. So we got one more formation.
Yep, the Brood Coven. Now this one has a Patriarch, a Magus, and a Primus in it. Now, the special rules are Lords of the Brood. The 3 models of a Brood Coven must be deployed as a single unit. They can still join friendly units, but if one does so, all other Brood Coven models must join the same unit. So they're essentially pals. Yeah, they roll around together. And again, if one leaves a unit, they all must leave the unit. Yep. So, that's not crazy. Coven Masters. The Brood Coven unit and any unit they have joined have the special rules while the relevant model is still alive. Patriarch gives the unit fleet. Magus gives it counterattack. Primus gives it preferred enemy.
That's pretty good.
Now stick that with a squad of Genestealers.
It becomes very, 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 very solid.
You got to remember, all those HQ units are relatively cheap, and you're not investing in it like you would with a giant paladin unit or anything like that. These guys, you can throw them all into that, and if it doesn't work, they could just redeploy and stick them with a new unit.
Put them somewhere else on the field, and then you can even detach them. As long as they all detach, you can't get them out of there. You're not forced to keep them in the unit.
You detach them from one unit, you stick them in a new unit, you use that again. So you can really use these guys as a pressure play. You create one really strong unit, you run it up with the rest of your army, try and get into combat. If the unit gets mauled, which it probably will because all your characters are in it, you just have the characters leave and join another unit, and then that unit gets all these bonuses.
It's good things. Fleet, counterattack, preferred enemy. That's pretty good.
I wouldn't complain at all.
No. And you, like you said, you're going to take these. You're going to take those models. You might as well, and because the Patriarchs and the Maguses and all that are quite cheap, the different formations, you can take multiples. You can take multiple Maguses, you can take multiple Patriarchs, not only to get the bonuses, but to just sort of, they're not even going to cost you that much.
They're good on the field regardless, and you're not paying a tax by having them like this.
Exactly.
They are encouraging you to take more units, and more units is always good on the field.
Always a good thing.
Always, don't let anyone... Kill points, well, that occurs, but it's 1 in 6 games.
1 in 12 if you take in Maelstrom.
But Maelstrom has it in there as well.
Alright guys, so there is one more detachment that we need to go through, and it's not a formation like the other ones. It is the Cult Insurrection detachment, which is the Decurion style detachment. So obviously it's made up of core, auxiliary, and command, like any other Decurion detachment, and picks from the ones that we've already gone through as either core, auxiliary, or command choices.
With the range of units and formations available for it, by going for this detachment, you're not penalised by playing the way that you want to play this book. Which is nice. I like that.
It gives a very big range of
you're
what
not,
you can do.
You're not focused to building this kind of thing. You can still do what you want within this detachment, which is cool.
Which leads us to what its command benefits are, and these are the icing on the cake for the Cult Genestealers. as they were. They've got 3 special command benefits for taking this Decurion style detachment. The first being the Cult Father, which is if your warlord is a patriarch, you get to re-roll the result of the warlord trait. So it's not any warlord like normal detachments normally do, so do keep in mind that, because sometimes you might think, oh, I can make my Magus the warlord and get the re-roll. That's not the case. It has to be the patriarch.
To be honest, a lot of the Genestealer warlord traits are very aggressive orientated though.
Yes, so they want to be on the patriarch.
So you'd probably want to put them on something like a patriarch anyway. So
yeah, exactly. So it's really a moot choice. You would, in my opinion, always choose the patriarch as the warlord, because ultimately, if you don't, like, you're just silly.
He doesn't like rolling leadership, I get.
Yeah.
The fearless bubble
Fearless
is strong.
bubbles is strong. You need that fearless bubble.
I'd probably take a Magus, but I'm special. 40 points is cheap.
40 points is cheap, yeah. And for small points games, that'd be awesome. Second benefit is uprising generations in the making. So all non-vehicle units in the detachment have the infiltrate special rule. So most of them have the infiltrate special rule already.
It's pretty much there, but this is just going. They all have it.
They all have it. That's all good. But the main things that it gives you is you get to add 1 to your reserve rolls. So everything coming back on the field on a 2+ instead of a 3+, which is huge.
Yep.
Much more consistent on getting those ambushes off when you need them to.
Yep.
If it was just the 3+ in a normal game, every 1 in 3 unit is not even coming back on the board.
There's a risk in that early period of the game that your army sits off and
some of
what's
it
left
doesn't
is murdered.
Yeah.
And this essentially says, don't worry about it. You might miss a unit here or there, but the majority of your army is going to be on the table being effective.
90% of it will come out.
And your opponent, however, has the opposite problem. With their reserves coming on a 4+, their flyers are less reliable, their ongoing reserves are less reliable. You'll have control of the game for longer. So it's really nice.
Yeah, really, really good, especially against those gladiator-style armies, because, half of their army is going to come out really quickly, but the other half still has to roll for their reserve rolls. So the fact that the uprising generations in the making subtracts 1 from their reserve rolls really makes it very good to stave off those other units.
I will fight half your army with my whole army.
Yep.
And then we'll filter in
and
the
then I'll jump off and wait for the rest of them to come down, and then I'll jump on again. So it allows you to do that sort of cat and mouse thing. And against Gladius armies, it will be very interesting how that works, because it will be very much like...
The game will be fun.
It'll be fun, yeah. And the last one is the big one. So the icing on top of the icing, the cherry on top of the icing of the cake, is the numbers beyond counting rule. So every time a unit from this detachment arrives from ongoing reserves, it is reinforced, which means it gets D6 models back of the units that were slain previously that battle.
Yep.
Which is huge.
If you do not kill a Genestealer Cult unit, that unit will be back, and it will be back to
almost full strength. Yeah, because most of the units, apart from maybe the 20-man units, you're going to be running them at 10-man, and getting 6 guys back, if you're lucky enough, is huge. It's like,
well, you can even run 8-9-man squads through and all that kind of stuff, and when they get low, you just take them off and you replenish them again.
Yep.
Even your gunline units and your neophytes, once they start taking a few hits, pull them off, put them back on. Lost the special weapon. The unit's useless now. Well, I'm going to take it off, put it back on.
Yeah, because it doesn't specify which models you get back. It just says D6 models are returned, so you get to choose them. So if you've lost a special weapon, if you lost a sergeant, if you took him, then you can just go, these guys are coming back, and then a couple of other guys. So you can always make sure the most important things are in the unit, and keep it at relatively full strength with a couple of guys missing. Huge for things like the Genestealer units and stuff like that. It's just absolutely massive.
Anything that has special heavy weapons, since a lot of the ranged weapons in this army, within 24 to 36 range, it's really key. You're going to be pushing your assault weapons, your heavy weapons forward. You're going to be pushing your assault weapons forward.
They're going to be things that die first.
When they get shot, unfortunately, they will get you will lose some. That's going to happen. This doesn't punish you for it.
Yeah.
Take them off, bring them back on, reinforce your troops.
Start again. Get them, just outflank them even. If it's got a long range like las cannon or even the long range seismic cannon, you want to get a cheeky side armor or something, you can bring it on from the side. You don't have to deep strike it 3 inches in front of them because they're just going to get chopped to pieces if you do that. So running into a bit more of the structure of how it all works. So the core choices are 1 to 6, with you choosing from Brood Cycle or the Neophyte Cavalcade. Obviously the Brood Cycle is quite expensive because there's a lot in it, so you won't replicate that too much, but the Neophyte Cavalcade is just 2 hybrids, a Lemon Russ and the Scout Center.
Yeah, it's essentially, if you're building that shooting force with your Genestealer Cult, you just take the Cavalcades, and it's good. You're building a guard army with its own Genestealer blend into it. With the Brood Cycle, you are almost taking an all-round force.
Yeah, bit of everything.
But again, you can still do that. You can still do your aggressive footing and use this particular detachment.
Yeah, get them out how you need to.
Yeah.
The auxiliary is 1+, so you can have as many auxiliaries as you like. No cap on them, but you must take 1. And because it has that option of must take 1, there are 3 extra formations that we didn't cover before, which is the Shadow Skulkers, Cult Mutants, and Brood Brothers. Shadow Skulkers just being a unit of Genestealers, Cult Mutants just being a unit of Aberrants or Hybrid Metamorphs, and the Brood Brothers just being either a unit of Scout Sentinels, Armored Sentinels, or Lemon Russ Squadron. So for an auxiliary choice, you can take 1 Scout. Sentinel.
35 points.
35 points.
I've done with the detachment. Or, if you wanted to build a Genestealer focused list, you could take 14 units of Genestealers.
Yeah. Legit, because it's 1+, there's no cap. You could, as long as you meet the core choice, which probably Neophyte Cavalcade is probably the cheaper of the 2.
If you're doing Genestealers, you probably would go with Brood Cycle, because a lot of those units are aggressively orientated. They want to get up.
And you get another Genestealer unit there.
That's right.
That's good.
Too much of the Cavalcade wants to sit back. So
that's true.
I think the Brood Cycle will be the one there. But
actually, I don't. Oh yeah, it's the Cavalcade will still be cheaper, but not by a lot.
No.
But yeah, or you could go just Hybrid Metamorphs everywhere.
Yep.
Just for days. Hybrid Metamorphs for days.
But again, they will have that regenerating special rule when they come back on.
Yeah.
So you can be aggressive with your troops. You can push them forward. You don't have to be afraid, even if your toughness 3, 5+ armor save.
Yeah.
As long as something survives, please remember go to ground.
Yes.
As long as something survives, you're still in the game.
Yep. And then the round off the rest of the auxiliary, the Doting Throng, Subterranean Uprising, Demolition Claw, and Deliverance Bruce Siege.
Yep.
Out of all of them, the Subterranean Uprising has to be shout out because obviously once the Primus is in there, you've got 3 dice chances to get those units, the 6s, to get them into combat straight away.
Yep.
I mean, the 5s still get you within 9 inches or something.
3 to 5. 3 to 5 still gets
3 to 5 gets you somewhere, but you obviously don't get the ability to charge unless you get the 6.
But you got 3 dice, things will happen. If it doesn't happen, take them off.
Yep.
Regenerate them. When you bring them back on, try again.
Yep, give it another go.
Yep.
And to finish things off is the command. It's 0 to 3, so it does cap you out at the 3. Unlike the Deathwatch Codex, it's not 1 to 3, so you don't have to take a command.
Which is interesting.
Which is interesting. The Brood Coven and the First Curse are the main ones. So the First Curse being the Patriarch with the 20 pure strain Genestealers. And the Lords of the Cult is the extra one here, and it's just one of the characters.
Yep.
So if you don't want to spend a lot of points, you can just take one of them and then that's part of the formation. So overall, I think this is a testament to what GW is trying to do, because they want everything to be formations. Because of its flexibility and points range, it's not pushing you into those big tax games.
You don't have to pay 2,000 points
just to get your core and your auxiliary, like Space Marines.
This one will allow you, whichever point in your collection you are, if you're ready to play with a detachment like this, you can fit what your collection is into this. You're not penalized for only playing 1,000 points.
Yep.
You can do it. You're not penalized for playing 3,000 points. You can do this many times over.
Yeah. You could probably squeeze it into 500 points, I reckon.
But I'd have to...
Maybe 650, but we'd have to look into it. The brood cycle is, well...
No. 500 is probably it, actually, to be quite honest.
500 probably minimum.
70 here, 45 here, 35 here, you'd fill it out. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. Which is good, because in a 500-point game, having your units regenerate is just so cheeky. So cheeky. Well, that is the Cult Insurrection detachment, so that goes hand in hand with the standalone formations that you can use in the Codex. So you don't have to take the Cult Insurrection detachment to take the other formations, 40k being what they are, so you can just take a Subterranean Uprising. You could take 3, and that could be your army.
But the main thing that you get out of this book is whichever way you build your army, you're encouraged to do so, and they're giving you small little bonuses all along the way. And
to cover everything.
It's almost a snowball effect. I think once you've taken so many layers of rules with them, they become this really unstoppable force.
It's very, very strong. But we'll go into more detail about meta stuff with them soon. So that is actually going to be the end of our second video. It is a bit shorter because we're going to go into the next one, which is psychic powers, warlord traits, and war gear. And then we will just do a bit of a wrap up of everything else after that. So until the next video, we'll see you guys around. So have a good one.
And may all your games be good games.